shooting here. These thin cuts, I think you got to be comfortable trying to play them. I think it was me and Carl, maybe a couple different players that, you know, when you can see a reward and you're in a bad position already, some of those big shots you really got to go for. And now Chua, we'll see what he decides to play and how he cues the ball. Hitting down on it, though, so he's either kind of dragging it, put the cue ball behind the 9, or maybe even going for the long rail bank. Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. You have to be prepared to knock some shots in. And a race to 11 in the final. It seems like to me, Johan's the type that, of course, not been out in as many events as we would like, and I think that's going to change. But he's one that starts with nerves, but he's able to settle them quickly, it seems.
Team Philippines wins.
And with that, Philippines lead by 1-0. Chu has been to a World Cup quarter-final before with Carlo Biado in London 6 years ago. Knocked out Qatar and the Netherlands before going down to China.
Oh, really sweet. He's come with 2 big shots here in the first 2 games, and how sweet it is for so many countries. Not all of them, of course, but you know, if you get the call that you're one of the players in the World Cup, right? And you're Filipino, you don't even have to ask who you're playing with, and you're going to be okay. How comfortable is Chua here early? Very, very impressive. Long combination here in this game. Long rail bank in game number 1. Now that shot there, which most players try to avoid, that top running spin on a very full hit on the object ball. Speaking of hits, this is going into the 8. Oh, he was able to hit it with outside English.
They're piecing this together nicely. Looking focused, determined, and very sharp so far. The Philippines have won the first couple of racks.
He snookered himself and now has to play a very nice kick shot. And Spain did the right thing passing this. Wow. Wow. And that's what I meant about the other day with the slick table. Your club table, you couldn't stop the cue ball so well when the object ball's so far from the end rail, but these players recognize on the slick felt. And you notice he didn't really even overhit the ball that much. How good is Chua? He got some sleep last night. These two hanging out with Fran and David. Got to figure him to be pretty good 2 rails behind this ball. Oh, he caught it thin. He's going to need some help. I'd say overall probably just hit it a little light. Let the cue ball spread a little more off the second rail. And well, you know, very heavily populated Manila area. So it's very huge there. And of course some other countries it's huge. It's just so concentrated right there, right? So they love their 9-ball.
The extension, please.
And they will love if this 9-ball goes down a little harder than you ideally would have wanted. The Philippines are looking very good in the early stages here. And swiftly they've moved into a 3-0 lead. Looking at this and thinking, we've not really done anything wrong here.
Yeah, they just kind of been handcuffed. The one mistake from the Philippines to miss 3. They elected to play safe. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Are they going to get something to look at? They are. That's why you have to stay patient. And even if you're not winning games, keep trying to execute because you're going to get a chance to win some games.
Every time you say the Philippines team have no weakness, they miss a ball into that pocket. That's twice it's happened now. 2 for 2, as you Americans would say.
Yeah, now a lot of what they did, which was running out in round number 1, have a good opportunity. And now making a decision on maybe not just this shot, but who wants to take on a shot later. It looks like they have to kind of draw past the 7 and then get 2 rails around that 3-4 grouping. One thing is, if they have to pull the ball at all, oh, he's hitting a high ball, so he should be okay. I was going to say, you don't want to catch the pink. Now he's going to leave a bit of a tester here, and a little alarming he ended up short. Couple reasons. The real work in the rack is from the 4 to the 5. Shouldn't have been this difficult on the 3, and Comina really hadn't got to shoot at anything yet. Very good young player and had a nice win in America this year. And he's a very confident kind of guy around the table, and you got to believe that's the type of attitude you have to be a champion. And this is what I was talking about. That's why getting on the 3 a little suspect in a little suspect manner now has made very difficult proposition getting from the 4 to the 5.
Delgado, the older of the pair, 29 years of age, ranked number 40 in the world. And that has really lit up this second round match. A very swift win in rack 4. Spain off and running. It's 3-1.
And Delgado recognizing he's going to go into the 9. A little fortunate to make it, but did draw the position, carrying the cue ball off the 9 up for the purple 5. So. He's playing. Oh, he's playing it safe. He's chipping it. So good, well done. But you know, the Philippines a little, breath of fresh air, really, to be able to get back to the table, snookered or not. Now, when the adrenaline's going, you have to remind yourself the Rassen jumps a little easier. And if he's trying to cut this in the side, wow. Johan Chu has come to play. I think the 6 does play, Michael, by the 9, up by the 8 in the upper left. Big shot for James. I'd like to roll this, I think, and go into the 9.
And suddenly this 5th rack has opened up for them.
May have to involve the 2 short cushions here. Yeah, I think that's what's happening. Oh, he could go with a little outside spin, and this is what I was talking about. Just because of that so-so position on the pink, the purple has become very difficult. Let's see how still he stays.
Don't like to say it, Jeremy, but I feel they're both being a bit stifled by the occasion here. What do you think? Especially in a situation like this, so close to going out of the tournament.
Well, these 2 are very smart players as well, and they recognize that they had some options to either play safe or go attack. In the early part of the match, the safety hasn't gotten them much. Oh, my. Oh, fluky.
Oh, wow.
Team Spain wins 2 racks.
Well, could that be the moment that changes the course of this? They were trying to do things differently. You can go as attacking as you want. It doesn't always work. But a bit of good fortune, that will never let you down when it comes your way. So, Philippines produce the first dry break of the match. Looking to be the first nation ever to win the World Cup of Pool 4 times. One rack away from moving within 3 matches of achieving just that.
Oh, James just...
Oh, watch the 9, watch the 9!
The
What
Philippines
a way to finish!
are winning the rack and the match.
And so, host nation involvement in the 2023 World Cup is over. They'll never forget that win against Saudi Arabia the other night and the atmosphere they generated here in Lugo. But hats off to the Philippines team. Yet again, they are in the last 8 and they will be contenders for that record 4th World Cup. They finish with a golden break delivered by James Aranis. And the Philippines are through. They have beaten this Spanish pairing by 7 racks to 2.
Bottom on the cue ball, holding it for the 9. Oh dear me. Now then, that was just horrible movement. It was the product of nerves, quite clearly. Very poor. Yeah, I could see on the replay, his cue went through all like wobbly.
Extension code.
Feeling it in the first rack when can. Skeweth, I think, is the best way to describe his cue. I think we know we'll be playing this shot, Phil. Of course, it's a Lucius Yap. Not easy. It's the first shot in this match. That's okay for China. The only way that can land a little funny is if the 9 ball and the cue ball was left in an exact straight line, because cueing off the rail means the cue ball can only go forward. So the fact he's got a little bit of angle means you can just focus on the pot, make sure you play it into the rail. The pocket will swallow the ball.
Team China wins
Never
rack.
in doubt. Competitive. Singapore. Ideally, didn't want the cue ball on the rail. Now he's going to have to get a bit juicy with the cue ball here. Yep, it's okay. Just a bit of right spin. Leave your partner long. Yep, should take care of this one. This is far easier than the one he missed. Yeah, he's decided just to try and pot the ball. And he's got lucky, very lucky indeed. Now look at this one, it almost dropped in right on the precipice and then had second thoughts.
Extension code.
Again, Phil, that is just simply ridiculous. The one ball was deep in the pocket. He had to play it off the right-hand side just to get the cue ball back down. Look where he hits the one. That's why he's got a shot on the 3.
Unintentional kiss, but he got away with it, Wang. And thanks to the big genius of little genius, China are about to regain the lead. This team is led by Wu, and he led by example there. China 3, Singapore 2.
If he gets a decent contact here, good things may come. The brown 7 might play a big part, the 9, the 3 ball. All depends on how he hits this. Oh, he's hit it good. He's hit it very good. What a shot from Lucius Yap. 2-rail kick.
That's the kind of kick that the Filipinos, who we've just seen beat Spain B in the first match of the day, that's the kind of kick they would have been proud of.
Spent a lot of time in this match talking about Wu, but let's not forget about Yap. He's also a phenomenal shot maker. He's proved it in this rack alone. Watch out, 8 ball. Watch out, 8 ball. Wow.
Can't help feeling a little sorry for him there.
Big favourite, the top pros, with this shot, with the short cue. This is probably like a 8, 9 out of 10 shot, really. Just pop it over the 8.
Anyone can make any kind of error, but historically, it's more likely that the lesser player of the pairings will fall victim to mistakes. Now, I'm not saying a dry break's a mistake, but it's such a big deal for them. Oh, now then, normally, double kisses, you don't want them. How about that one?
Yeah, it was very favourable. Has it slightly gone wrong? Meaning there's not much angle to work with. Yeah, there you see, dead straight.
Better from Wang Kan, and easy to reach for a left-hander. To and fro this match, ebbing and flowing.
Team
China
wins the
back
rack.
on level terms again at 4-4, as they were at 3-3, 2-2. Good match.
Well, that is a cheeky shot. 9 pros out of 10 would have played for the combo, not Wu. He gets him on the 7, Phil.
He's got the X factor. And I think he might pot this, you know.
Team China
China
wins the rack.
back in front. Really good match, this.
Got his playing cue, maybe raising the butt a little bit and swerving it. 5 seconds to go, he's got to get a move on. Ended up playing the kick. And he's gone wrong. Left the pot here.
Yes, with no future clusters to save them. Chance for Singapore to get back onto level terms once more.
Sharik Saeed has played well in this match. He's held his own. He's potted his balls. He's contributed so far. Again, middle of the pocket. Cue ball comes over nicely for Yap. Singapore to break. Tied at 5-5. The break hasn't really worked for Sharik. I think that's another dry break from him.
Wrong player.
Oh, wrong player has broke the balls. This is rare.
Wrong player to break. I'll double check it.
Never seen this one before, so the beauty of this is we can get our VAR out and have a look.
I'm not making any assumptions, but
Just
I
give
think
me a second, guys.
Desislava Boshilova is normally extremely dependable.
Rock 8.
Yeah, it's confirmed she tell you to break. You ask her. So it's...
They say you see something new every day. This would be a new one on me as well. And what a critical juncture.
Yeah, the issue is she's moved the cue ball as well, Phil. She grabbed the cue ball. So the cue ball's not in the same place it was. I mean, obviously we can get it back there, but... And these referees are fantastic. It's very rare they get anything wrong.
Well, if this decision is correct, it's very observant and very mentally slack on behalf of the team that have committed the mistake, the foul.
So correct.
It is foul.
But the last break,
You broke
he
off.
asked you, he checked with you whether it was his break, and you said yes.
Yeah, but that was the previous one. In Rock 8, you broke off after him. And that was the last time you broke off.
Okay.
Yeah? Start the shot clock, please.
There's going to be a foul shot here, but I can't tell him. She's not empowered to tell him. But it might not matter.
I think he's tried to get him too close to the 5, thinking that he's not cued his finest in this match. Kicking at the 5. How big is this rack now? Going to leave a pot. Singapore are back at the table.
Foul shot. Ball in hand.
A lot of fouls going on here at the moment. That was a very tricky one, but now Wu and Wang Kan have got ball
Start
in
the clock,
hand.
please.
Wang not liking this. Just keep it simple. Rely on Wu.
Wise words, Mr. Yates.
Extension code.
Just crunches
China
the
wins the
9
rack.
in as though it was the most simple thing imaginable.
the red 3 ball does go into the bottom right corner. So as long as he puts the 2 and just floats over off that rail, takes a little bit of a bounce. It's very easy to fire this into the long rail though and rattle it.
Carl Boys didn't just call the miss, he called where the miss was going to occur.
It's only because I've done it many times myself, Phil. It was always going to be a little tricky. Yep, it weren't so much it was a poor positional shot, it was just very thin on the one chance for China. What a match this has been. One good shot. If Wu gets Wang Can on this 7 ball nicely, it should be over.
Given the nervousness that Wang is feeling, I think it's also important that he gets good position on the 9. Gets a formality of a 9.
Yeah, I'm with you, Phil. Wu's got to get this dead straight on the 9. He can go forward with the cue ball, bounce it back off the back rail. Gets him straight on the 9. What a match it's been. We've had everything. But it all comes down to this 9 ball for China.
Wang and Wu are through. They are delighted. Singapore feeling a little sick. Such a veteran of this tournament. Played in the very first one in Wales back in 2006. Bosch has been part of the Dutch team since 2018.
Yeah, I tried to work off of not much of an angle there on the blue 2, and just a lot of times when you need cue ball movement, it's how often when the mistake is made, it agrees with the movement of the cue ball. Like overcutting that helped the movement of the cue ball. And again, you're not going to play perfect position out there, especially playing doubles. You just have to be prepared to knock some shots in. Oh, how good is this? It leaked out. I thought he had it perfectly to hold the cue ball behind the green 6.
Foul stroke.
There's all kinds of scratches with the cut break that most are playing these days, but anytime you come one rail and you put the cue ball near that side pocket yourself, that's kind of on you. You know you're enhancing the chances of that scratch.
Use their extension already. Not an easy one to play with the beeps going. The 9's pretty easy though. Niels finds a scratch off the break, has ended up costing the Netherlands that second rack. It's 1-all.
Get a snooker that way. Hard to get that snooker. Oh, that's beautiful there. And look where he put the 2. Now, if they get ball in hand, it's not that great. but they put themselves in position to get that ball in hand. Very difficult kick here. Should be a light speed twice across the table. Just trying to land on the blue 2. This does involve a little side spin. Got to aim above the purple, I think. With the right spin, they're going to go on the back side of it. That's a harder way to hit it 2 rails, I think.
Foul stroke.
Oh, and they open them as well. Big mistake. And the beeps can get to any team, even some of the ones you would consider the real class here in the event.
Often we say after a really good shot he couldn't have placed that better by hand. Well, the way that's played out in all its various parts, could hardly have placed that worse.
No, he didn't get it there. He slapped at the ball a
Foul
bit,
stroke.
and the tip comes up, and you
Ball in
don't
hand.
get the grab on the ball.
Please start the clock.
What players have to realize on the slick table there is you can really trust the bed, you know. He's trying to get to that second rail, and I completely understand it, but if you draw the ball cleanly and let the ball roll out, it just kind of creeps across the table, plenty of, you know, good position to cut the 7 and a big error.
So an eventful rack
Chinese Taipei
goes
win
the
the
way
rack.
of Chinese Taipei. They lead for the first time in the match. And so in fact they've been in more semi-finals than anyone, but only one final.
An overcut there, and I thought he might let the stroke out. Just a more comfortable way to shoot it, come across and play the pink in the upper left. Of course, that's all preference there, and these players stay in stroke, so he was comfortable with it.
The Netherlands famously have been to the World Cup football final 3 times, but have yet to win it. And they occupy a similar role in the World Cup of Pool. Not quite 3 final appearances, but they have been there twice and have yet to win. They're the only country that's been in the final on more than one occasion without ever winning the World Cup.
Yeah, every 4 years when that World Cup comes in, of course, I'm not raised with that game myself, but do pay attention to that. It's grown so much in America. I always hear about how great the soccer team from the Netherlands are and how much of a powerhouse they should be. Neil seems a bit calmer to me today. I think the first round match, I think the nerves can set in for any of the players.
Netherlands wins the rack.
Yeah, neither side's exactly flying yet.
A little straight here, though, so he's got to cheat the pocket, get the speed right. You'll notice the brown 7 doesn't pass the 9, so he wants to land really straight here. And the good thing for the Koh brothers is the 8's very accessible, so they don't have to worry about, you know, a particular side of the 7 or whatnot. Just try to get to where it's not so missable.
You said in the previous rack they were starting to flow. They certainly are in this one.
Yeah, they're so close, you know, you wouldn't doubt a little telepathy involved or some form of it just because, you know, they're always joined at the hip, it seems like. But I think any two, they can kind of just trust each other and understand that they're great players, and it doesn't have to be that much discussion.
We haven't seen a break and run in this match. We have
Chinese
now.
Taipei wins the rack.
Chinese Taipei go 2 clear for the first time at 4-2. Ko Ping Chung was playing in the Spanish Open as well. Went out in the last 64 though to Alex Kazakis. this day last week.
Yeah, and this felt real awkward. I think he's going to have to play short side on the 8, and he's going to have a deft touch doing it. I don't know if he can draw and get to the side rail. He's kind of got to drag this and open it up with a little spin. Oh, he did get to the side rail. Real nice. And that one there, you overhit it a bit, Michael. The English doesn't grab enough, and you could easily go off in this lower left corner with the cue ball.
Took a while for this match to get going, but it's turning into a fairly accomplished performance now from Chinese Taipei. They were level at 2-all. And that's 3 racks on the bounce now, and they only need 2 more to set up a quarter-final against the Philippines.
Rack
Those
9.
are all individual
Chinese
matters.
Taipei to break.
It's all about the team
On
today.
the hill, leading 6 racks to 2.
The team from Chinese Taipei are closing in on yet another appearance in the last 8.
Yeah, and they're getting stronger with the break shot as well. And I'll tell you, this does not look good for the team from the Netherlands. And really, it was from a safety that was missed by, I don't know what the measurement would be, but we saw how thin the cut was on the red 3, and they've been in the chair ever since.
And if the 8 and 9 are deposited, we will be seeing co-brothers again tomorrow. Intriguing clash with the Philippines. Brief moment of anxiety there, but it's finished perfectly. It was level at 2-all, but 5 in a row for Chinese Taipei.
7 racks to 2.
They have ended Dutch hopes here with a 7-2 win. And they go through to the quarter-finals of the World Cup for the 10th time.